Hello, and welcome to Amethyst Racing. It's Tier 2 in Belgium. It's me, Martin. Today I'm joined with...
Captain Forge. Or Hawkins, sorry.
After Tier 1's race around Spa, how will Tier 2 do? Ule, your current points leader, with Vlad in hot pursuit and Potts still in the hunt. We got a 3-horse race for the coveted World Drivers' Championship in Tier 2. Last season's winner, Rasmussen, is in Tier 1 this season.
Oh.
Alright.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, you spaced out.
No, I didn't. Someone in chat said it's my favourite commentator, Luke Williams, hater Martin, and it threw me off. Completely.
Who is that with the letters anyway?
I know who it is, but I shall not disclose who they are.
Oh. McWilliams out on track.
Good evening, tyres. McWilliams will be the first driver out on track. We're seeing a queue of cars forming. It's looking very overcast today. Possibly everyone might get out nice and early in case of the rain coming.
Let's take a look.
Do not tell us.
Do not?
Yeah, we in the commentary booth do not have access to the weather forecast machines.
I do.
That better be McWilliams leading us off here. Oh my god, it actually won't.
I told you.
And there's a Ferrari behind. No, it's double Alfa Romeos behind, running very close to one another. And there's a lot of cars coming out onto the track now. We're going to have a very busy track. 17 cars today. Who's your prediction for pole? With no chappers here, is Alex Harris going to continue his almost clean record of pole positions when chappers isn't about?
I feel like he could easily. He's shown a lot of pace over the last couple of races, so I do believe he can take pole today.
It's a shame. In the old rules, you used to get a point for qualifying first in very old F1 rules back in a long time ago.
It's a shame it's not in place today. He would have a lot more points to his name.
A hydrate has been redeemed. Where did I put my Coke?
It looks like drunk Martin's begun.
No, I'm having Coke for now. As here we have McWilliams now starting his lap. He's going to come into the tricky sector. What's first corner? Very important that you nail it down, goes tight to the apex and swing out nice and wide. And now going to come through the legendary corner of El Rouge. Flat out through there. No lifting. Almost touches a bit of grass there. That wasn't very gamer of him. But putting it right on the limits here. He's now going to be coming into the late break as late as possible. Try not to ride too much curb here so you don't spin. Cleanly through there. He's got a Haas coming up in front of him. Hopefully the Haas moves out as all 17 cars are currently on the track. Is there anyone else further down looking rapid out there?
I'm currently taking a peek. AlphaTauri's on the lap. I don't see many people on the lap other than the Red Bull. Look at his name in real life. Hold on. Binder's currently on a good lap as well right now. There's some solid sectors through 1 and 2, and coming to sector 3 now.
Well, it's going to be McWilliams though who is leading this out. Purple sector 2, but he is the first car on the track. He's got hungry Alfa Romeos behind him. Remember, the constructors is all up for grabs as well between Alfa Romeo and Aston Martin in Tier 2. McWilliams going to have to put in a big performance here. Every point is necessary. He's coming to bus stop now. Cleanly through there. And he's going to drive towards the line. And our benchmark time is a 1:44. And then it's going to be Scousey goes P1, a second faster. And Ule just behind him, a little off the pace. Binder P4. And then it's going to be Vizendi. Next is Vizendi on an out lap. So I stand corrected. It's going to be not Monk. It's going to be Potts puts it P3. Monk has invalidated his lap. And then it's going to be Elsom. Elsom goes 4th fastest. Then it's either going to be Hugendorn. No, it's going to be Van Loon now coming around the final corner. What time can Van Loon set? P5 for Van Loon. And then it's a Ferrari. It must be Kosev. It is Kosev. P8 for Kosev. With Alsop now taking P8 from him. And then it's going to be Vlad. Almost getting held up by Monk, who dives into the pits. That looked a bit sketchy. Vlad goes P3 though with a 1:43.7. And next up is going to be Alex Harris. No, Harris has invalidated. So it'll be Hugendorn. Coming through the final sector now. Going to be coming into bus stop. Swings it through. One last corner. There's yellow flags.
It's just people getting out of the way. It's all good.
And Hugendorn puts it P4. And meanwhile, Matthews goes P10. And then it's Vizendi. No. It's Zerveld. Coming through the final corner now. And Zerveld goes P6 with that time. Very fast from Zerveld. Zerveld is currently your reigning Tier 1 champ? No, Tier 3 champ.
I believe he's reserving today. See how he puts up against the Tier 2s. A couple of people are validating the laps though. Some people are struggling to keep it together.
Harris was one of them. I don't believe he's on another lap. I think he's probably on an in lap, I would gather. Vizendi also struggling. Monk struggled, and Houveniers. 4 drivers all struggling to keep it between the white lines. My best guess would be No Name was the claimer of lap times.
Quite a few, I believe. 4 people not set a lap so far.
Correct.
And
Skowski
Harris is one of them.
Currently P1 for Skowski. But he's looking very overcast. Harris could be on a lap here.
Can't tell.
It's very fast. He's almost certainly on a lap here. He is.
Yeah, he's definitely.
He's a little bit off the time, but obviously setting a benchmark lap of 14th place.
The 1:46.9. That's an entire second and 8 tenths off the next guy. So a very poor lap by him. This is going for one now.
Next on a lap, I believe, is Houveniers. Who is saying is purple sector 1. Is that correct?
It's correct for me.
So Houveniers looking like he's got a little bit of pace here. Possibly looking to offset the Alfa Romeo 1-2 that currently stands on the top step of the podium for this qualifying. Will he be able to hold it together throughout the whole of the lap though?
He's doing quite well right now.
Just got to keep it between the white lines here.
Yeah, he set no time so far, but it's a 1:15 in Sector 2. That's quite fast.
He's now going to come in through the very fast Sector 3 as well. This is a mistake here and you lose a lot of time. You've got to make sure he keeps it between them white lines. He's got 2 corners left to go.
He's currently putting up a really good lap as well.
And Houveniers is going to put it P8. P8 for Houveniers. The next car on lap, I believe, is Monk. Runs it very close on the exit of No Name, almost invalidating once again. But he does invalidate through Pouillon. Monk will not be happy with himself. He's invalidated through Pouillon. And then I believe the next car on lap is possibly Binder here. Although watch out who Van Loon is on an out lap. There's another Ferrari on a lap. It is Kosev. Reserving in tier Yeah, he's on an out lap. Ignored me.
Casper Sky's currently on a lap in Sector 1.
Let's go watch Skowski as he goes through El Rouge. We get a nice back shot of him. He's up on his time as well. So it definitely track evolution coming into play. There's more rubber down and he's able to push it just a little bit harder. It was only 600ths, but any thousandth could make the difference between P1 and P2 here. His teammate Ule wasn't too far off the pace of him. Coming now through Puon. We'll be hoping to keep it together here. Through the flowing section now after Puon. Let's see what sort of sector 2 he's looking at. Is he up on his time still? He is by almost 2 tenths now. Hawkins, are we about to see a big improvement to solidify his P1 spot?
I mean, if you can hold it together through Sector 3, it's pretty much flat out for the entire sector. He should be able to hold on to it. I've got faith. May even gain time in the last push-up chicane. He's locking up.
Oh, he might have lost a bit of time there, if anything. That lock-up could be costly for an improvement. But here we go. He's going to cross the line now and does improve by 300ths, though. Yeah,
so he lost a tenth for the lockup. That's still good improvement, though.
As next to person to come around is going to be his teammate Ule. And Ule is up 3 tenths, according to what my game just told me. So there's a possibility that Ule could be about to knock his teammate off that top step. And he does.
He definitely has.
Now it's going to be Kosev coming across. Improves, and goes up to P12. And then it's going to be Vizendi. Yes, it's going to be Vizendi next.
Just a question marks around his name. Goes P6.
He does go P6. I am now questioning if Vizendi even has a contract for this race.
Oh no. Because if he doesn't, then that's going to be Kickaroony.
I've got to go through all of Kizua's contract. No, he does. He still has a contract. So Vizendi P6, Hugendorn P5, Rosu P4. Next across the line, I believe, is Matthews. No, it's going to be his teammate Harris. Harris is going to is starting a lap. I stand corrected. So it will be Matthews, who is improving, but only by invalidating bus stop. Oh no. McWilliams now in P7 as well. Next up is going to be Rosu to be coming across the start-finish line. A little bit of a train of cars here. So it's going to be Rosu first. Rosu will be looking to take Ule off that top spot. And Rosu does improve, but it's not enough to gain any points or positions. And next is going to be Monk.
Monk is going to cross the line. It's actually Kalen on the lap right now. Kosev.
Kosev is on a lap.
He's about to cross the line.
Thank you for the follow there. As Harris has lost his wing. Oh. Let's have a look at Harris. Yes, Harris, in fact, has no wing. So he definitely be coming in this lap.
I don't know if we have enough time to get back in and come back out again.
How much time do we have left?
There's 4 minutes and 35 seconds remaining in the session.
It's going to be squeaky bum time.
It's pedal to the metal. Make no more mistakes.
With no wing as well, it's going to be very hard to do. As I believe Monk is on a lap, possibly. Can he finally set a time? This will be his final lap, so he's either going to come in now and a hydrate has been redeemed. Okay, I better open a bottle of water for you boys.
He's currently not on a great lap.
He isn't.
He's quite a bit off the front runners, to be honest.
I think he's probably going to pit because he might just about have enough time for one more.
He's half a second down on the current front runners right now. So unless he boxes, this is going to be it for him.
half a second will put him currently around P6, P7?
P5.
P5. He's not boxing, so this is going to be his final lap. What can Monk do?
Oh, P13.
That is not very good by his standards.
He lost a lot of time in Sector 3 there as well. He's going to be absolutely mad with himself at that.
Absolutely mudded.
An entire second off the pace.
So now we look for anyone else on lap. And
I think one of the Alfa Romeos is coming around about to set a lap, which is Kasper Sky.
Skowski's on an
coming
out lap.
around.
He's on his out lap. I'm going to do this hydrate now for you. So yeah, Skowski's on his out lap. But yes, it's going to be Skowski is going to be leading out the last runs for these guys. So Monk having an absolute nightmare there. Skowski going to swing it out wide, getting maximum drive out for this final lap. He's got Ule's time to beat to solidify P1. What can he do? He's going to have a lot of traffic in front of him. He has started his lap a lot earlier than others. Manages to clear the guys coming out to the pits, but there is more cars ahead.
They're going to have to get out of the way, or they're going to be penalised after the race. So, he's just got to focus.
Yeah, very true, very true. He's gone through our Rouge with no problem at all. Let's see, is he going to be up on his time? He is by 15 hundredths, or 15 thousandths even. Almost looking a bit Tokyo Drift-esque through the first flying section. I can't remember the name of them corners.
I can't remember either. I know this is no name, but I don't remember the name of the sectors.
And then this is Puon. Throws it in a round. As Monk has retired in the pits, he will not be setting another lap. P13, but there's a lot of drivers that can improve times. Alex Harris being one of them. Do not count Harris out just yet. We've got a minute left. As Skowski has now found another, has gone purple sector 2. And has found almost 2 tenths on his previous time.
Oh, he's getting a tow from the Ferrari.
He is, but is the dirty air going to come into play as well? The Ferrari isn't moving out of the way.
Gonna block him. Oh no.
Oh no, indeed. Who is that in front of him?
I believe that's Kalen.
It is
Huveniers. Huveniers, yeah.
And that absolutely ruins Skowski's lap.
He did improve though. Skowski improved by 1.5 tenths.
He improved, but that was definitely going to be faster.
Hmm.
And in the briefing, we did say if they and Kosa's retired.
On track, he spun.
So Huveniers is blocked. We did say in the briefing not to Ule's not setting another lap, so Ule's just retiring. But in the briefing we did tell him. We did tell the guys in the briefing that even if you are on an outlap coming up to the final few corners, let the car pass.
Yeah.
Skowski will not be happy.
Binder's about to come to that lap.
Binder is indeed P12 currently. Can he improve?
Smooth.
Very smooth. Vizendi's retired. Vizendi's binned it.
It's an improvement for him. Still P12 though. Now for the McLarens.
It was Hugendorn first. Hugendorn crosses the line. But Van Loon, meanwhile, going faster than Rosu on the track. And next is, I believe, is Harris. No, it's not Harris. It's going to be Matthews next around the track. Who's 6 tenths up but has invalidated. So he will not be improving his time. Now it's going to be Huveniers, currently the pantomime villain.
You got a good run. P3.
P3. After his 5th place, it will be P8. But it's going to be Rosu. Watch Rosu coming. Oh, that's Alsop. Rosu is going to put it. Doesn't improve. McWilliams doesn't either. Potts is P4. Now it's Harris. Harris does improve, but it's still 17th.
Last car on track is P16. Redstone. Which is also.
Alsop has, we saw him in the wall.
He's currently down on his time.
He had a moment. But Williams having an abysmal qualifying. This is unlike them. Harris going for a last to first. I don't know why Alsop has done that, but we move.
That's naughty. You shouldn't do that, bro. Wow. What a qualifying.
Chappers is in chat complaining about work, saying that pole time was very beatable.
Well, obviously not, because you're not here. So,
there is a lobby restart. To confirm, there is a lobby restart. Let me get the screenshots as well. Duckett, I see you in chat. Can you crop these down for me? So it's a 1-2 for Alfa Romeo though around Spa.
Yeah, absolutely great race from the qualifying. Sorry, from the Alfa Romeos.
They will be very happy with that. Very, very happy indeed.
The question is, can they hold on to it?
How much faster were they? They had 2 tenths over the next car. They definitely got something here that no one else has got. Possibly the Riz.
I was improving 4 tenths for you on my last lap.
Who said that?
Yeah, Kosef improved by 4 tenths. I'm proud of the Ferrari. Tier 3 driver, by the way, got P3 in this race, in this qualifying. It's very important to know. So lobby restart, yeah.
Yes, there is a lobby restart, so I'm going to go quickly set up the lobby. I'm going to give the people the music.
There is no past, there is no future, only now, only now. There is no past, there is no future, only now, only now. is no future. There is no future. There is no future. There is no future.
Hello, hello, and welcome back. The grid is set. The drivers are readying up now. What weather will we have at Belgium for the race? Are we going to get a wet one, or is it going to fall to tier 3 to get the wet race again? Also, chat, who is your favourite to get P1? Who's getting it on the top step to this tonight? Is it going to be Ule or Skowski, or can we expect someone else to sneak one in? The Alfa Romeos definitely had the won that pace, but do they have the race pace? Hawkins, meanwhile, is murmuring to himself. I hope he's okay there.
Yeah, just sorting things out on my end.
It's nice and sunny.
Yeah, apparently no rain expected.
Ooh.
Interesting. We're going to get a lovely dry race now.
So, by law of common knowledge, it means tier 3 will be raining.
Oh, poor tier 3. Oh, wait. Hold on.
Hold on.
Never mind. My weather forecast isn't saying completely dry.
Alright, let's keep it a secret.
Oh. It might just be bugged. I'll wait for it to update. I'll DM you. Hmm?
But it appears as long as they can keep it out of the wall, that we're about to go racing. Let's hope that they don't absolutely mess it up.
They only have
Guys,
one job to do.
Don't bring out a red flag, boys. That's all I ask. And see, we have the formation lap. It's a 1-2 Alfa Romeo. It's the first front row lockout, I believe. I can't remember seeing a front row lockout from a team other than Williams in tier 1, maybe? No. Alpine locked it out in Japan in tier 2. Had to do a little bit of total recare there, cool there for you chappers. Let's see if everyone can maintain that 10 car gap today. And let's see what tyres everyone has picked as well. So the front 4 on hards, then the next 4 on mediums, Hugendorn on hard, Zerveld medium, Binder Monk hard, Elsom Kosev, Matthews Alsop medium, Harris on the hard. A very mix of strategies here being played out by teams. Wouldn't you say, Hawkins?
I'm just excited to see it happen, to be honest. Very excited. Can Alfa Romeo hold on to it?
We shall see. The hard, if no safety car comes out.
If there's no safety car, I'll be very, very surprised.
I will too, as there appears to be a few small holes forming within the packet. I don't think it's 10 car lengths as such, but definitely one to watch.
You have to be careful about that car length, for sure.
As long as it's not a prolonged, I can understand as they accelerate there being a bit of a gap, but as long as you're able to catch it back up, as they're now going to be coming to set the grid, as Monk has done a spin. Drunky Monkey strikes again.
You monkey.
And here we have the drivers all lining up on the grid. None of them have so far disqualified themselves.
Amazing.
Let's go, boys. We love to see it. Let's keep it clean for the rest of the race.
That's the first time something that's never happened before.
We have 5 lights out. Oh! Ule's jumped the start!
Oh no! Ule's
gone so early! And it's going to be put up the inside of Skowski. Further back, it's wheel-to-wheel stuff, but Ule went so early. There seems to be a yellow flag further back. What's happened back there?
I believe that one of the Hasses has spun and is all the way at the back now.
So
And the Red Bull getting a penalty.
So your current race leader would be Potts, but Skowski's looking rapid down this straight. Skowski got the inside as well. It's side by side. And who's up? Alsop up into P11. And Harris is in P12 from back of the grid as well. A few cars on a real charge, but that's going to be a real kick in the teeth there for Ule. As meanwhile, further back, Monk and Kosev are battling it out. But back to what is the actual race lead. It's currently the battle for P2, but Ule, I've never seen that before. I've seen it from further back, someone jumping, but Ule just a little too eager to go as we got yellow flags. What are the yellow flags for there?
The AlphaTauri.
His Alsop has gone off in a turn 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 and 13. Alsop dropped down into P15, but it's going to be Ule who's currently leading this race. When will he serve his drive-through though?
I would serve it ASAP if I was him, because if the safety car comes out in the next couple of laps, it can really, really hurt him.
Lap 1.
And, yeah.
He serves
he
it
must serve
already.
it.
So
Yeah.
your new race leader will be Potts, with Skowski behind. Potts getting the jump on Ule. And Hooven is putting a lot of pressure on Skowski here. In fact, Potts is pulling a little bit away from Skowski. And Ule is really going to feel the effects of this drive-through. He's still not out of the pits and he's down into P15. He's going to fight his way through the grid.
Yeah, that's a shame. Such a shame for the Alfa Romeos. They had such a good qualifying.
Hooven was P3, served the grid penalties, back up into P3.
Absolutely amazing from the Ferrari.
The Ferrari
Really
is
proud.
looking racy, and Rossi will want to capitalise on his title rival faltering on the start line. Like that. As meanwhile, it's going to be further back, it's going to be Monk and McWilliams, who are a little bit close, and Kosev, as Hugendorn has now got past Harris. Hugendorn and Harris are battling it out. Kosev is looking very racy on the rear of Monk, though.
What a start.
McWilliams is having a stellar drive at the moment. P6 for him. Definitely seems to have found some pace here today. Matthews, Hugendorn and Harris are on a charge. Elsom has maintained position and Zerveld is down into P13 now. I'd like to give Kosev, Tier 3 driver, reserving in Tier 2 today. Looks very much on the pace today. This is a sign of things to come.
Yeah, he's performing quite well for a Tier 3 driver. It just shows that he can perform when he needs to. Let's see if he can keep it up though.
As Ule here is looking to catch up onto the back of Alsop. He's got a lot of cars to get through. A lot of opportunities for an incident to happen. As Skowski sets the fastest lap. Skowski has clawed back the time on Potts. But meanwhile, the front four are pulling away from the McLaren in P5. The front two on hards, and then I believe it's mediums for Huveniers and Rosu. As the DRS is enabled, and Skowski will now have the DRS to attack Potts here. Will he look for a move? He thinks about it for a second, but pulls out. He's got enough laps to make the move if he can do it. Further back is Harris and Elsom getting into a bit of a scrap. Harris running very wide there. Zerveld sends it up his inside. Harris is looking very loose. Now having to defend Alsop. Alsop on his outside, coming through the long sweeping right hand, and Ule's on his inside. Too wide round this section. Harris defends, and now it's going to be Ule and Alsop getting into a bit of it. Ule seems to have got past Alsop, and Vizendi might look to get past Alsop too, as well as they go through Puron. Side by side for P15. Vizendi pulls out though. And Ule is now stuck behind Harris. As Vizendi starts to send it up the inside there. And Ule did not get a good drive out from there and has now lost another position to Vizendi. Ule's having a nightmare drive. Back to the front though, because it's going to be Skowski and Hooveners very close onto the back of Potts. And Rosu is hanging on to the back of this 4-car breakaway from the pack. But Hooveners looks like he's got a lot of pace on their mediums, but he's got to do something quick, I'd assume.
Oh!
We have a yellow flag!
The contact between Yule and Alex, I believe. No, the Red Bull. Oh no, someone. Jeez. They spun in going into the bus stop chicane.
There was a lot going on back there. 3 cars. Ule's having a nightmare drive.
Apparently Elson boxed.
Elson had to box as well. Maybe possibly for damage. Ule now up into P14. All over the rear of Alsop. Will he make the move here? Surely. And back to the front. Skowski has actually taken the lead.
Completely missed that.
We did. Now coming through Puon. As chat is calling Ule Puli. Potts now having to defend the medium runners. And Van Loon is still dropping off the back of this front 4 though. And will Skowski be able to get a nice gap ahead of Potts already? But as things stand, this does absolute chaos to the driver's title. Ule, oh, did Potts clip the wall there?
I'm not entirely sure if he did. He might have damage.
Let's have a look. His car doesn't look like he's got damage, but he doesn't have the pace that Skowski had, that's for sure. And Hooven is going to go around the outside. Oh! Meanwhile, Ule spun!
Oh,
I'm
no.
sorry to cut back to P17, but Ule has spun!
So is Elsom. Elsom also having a bit of trouble as well.
Hooven is up into P2. Potts down back into P3 with Rosu behind him. But Ule is not having a good race here today at Spa. His qualifying pace was there, but something has gone wrong. Rosu, though, looking very racy on the back of Potts. And you have that DRS to close in on Potts. But Potts parks the car very well there, not leaving any room for Rosu to make a move. But they're going to need to hang on to the back of Hooveners. Hooveners really got some pace here. And Monk picks up the first 3 second. Monk's got a 3 second. Kosev has a 3 second. Binder and Alsop are getting into it in P13, P14.
More spins.
It's Binders have a spin. And meanwhile, we're going to go back to the front because Skowski's got a second over Hooveners now. So Skowski really does have some pace, but he's going to really need to hope that he can do something for his teammate, who's running at the back of the grid by quite a margin as well. But Hooveners is catching back up in this Sector 3 on Skowski. And Van Loon is caught back up to the back of Rosu. Let's have a quick look at everyone's tyres. It's going to be... Not much has changed, actually, for anyone. Tyre-wise.
I mean, they'll be getting around about 40% tyre wear now on the medium runners and about 30% on the hards. So it's going to come close to pit stop soon.
Turn the wrong thing off. Ule and Binder are now getting into it in P16. Ule needs to start making his way through the pack though. And he's got past Binder, but he hasn't been able to dispatch Elsom this whole time. And meanwhile, Skowski's gap has gone back down to 6/10. So Hoovenir is looking very racy here in Spa. Skowski now heads this train as well. So it's going to be Skowski who leads us. Hoovenir's P2, Potts P3, Rosu P4. But the big talking point so far is going to be Ule's jump start. If that is what decides the title, it'll be insane as there's a spin.
Oh, Alex is spun.
Harris is spun.
Harris. He's in the middle of the track as well.
He moves out the way, thankfully.
Oh, that was
Alex
a bit dangerous
Harris.
though.
Hacks are not working today for Harris.
And
But it's
Man
gonna
leading
be-
the champion. Oh,
It's going to be Skowski P1. Still. P2 will be for Hoovenir, who's looking very racy on the mediums, but will he have that pace on the hards? Ooh. And Van Loon is starting to drop back off the rear of Rosu, but Van Loon is on the hards, I would like to point out. And Rosu's rear is flashing. But it's going to be McWilliams looking very racy on the back of him. He maybe look to make a move here. They're side by side coming into turn 6. And McWilliams is through up into P5 for McWilliams. As Hoovenir picked up a 3-second penalty for multiple warnings as well. Let's have a look at that move once again. McWilliams with the DRS. Swings it in nicely. Makes the move stick. Covers off Van Loon for any sort of move back up the next corner. And that's how he gained P5. As Hoovenir is dropping off the back of Skowski. Skowski has a lot of pace here on them hard tyres. And we've got a yellow flag. It's for Alex Harris. Harris has retired. Has Alex had a big crash there? Harris, the first person, brings out a virtual safety car.
yeah, those medium runners might start to think about boxing now as well, because their tyre wear is about 50 to 60%. They might want to think about boxing.
We will see here. This might be the time to do it, but it's going to be a lot of laps on them hards. So let's see. Yes, Hoovenir does box. Rosu doesn't though. Hoovenir is the only one, and it's just as the virtual safety car ends as well, so he's been a little bit done in there. Will he come out ahead of Ule though? That will be the important question, I think.
Or has he made a good call? If the tyre wear's high, he's going on to fresh tyres. And he may be able to make time up to the guys ahead. Maybe he's done the good one.
Maybe so, but right now it's going to be Skowski being chased back down by Potts. Will he be able to make it happen? As it's looking like a 2-horse race if the safety cars don't come out, because the hard runners will be loving this.
It'll be very interesting from here on out.
McWilliams now up into P4. Van Loon keeping up with McWilliams, but he's got a Monk charging behind him. The constructors are on the line here as well. I believe it's a 4-horse race. I think McLaren are still within the range for the constructors here in Tier 2. I'm going to go quickly have a look.
I don't think they will be able to get the win, but they will definitely be able to get P2 or P3 in the constructors. It's a little bit too far off mathematically.
Alfa Romeo currently do lead the constructors, but with only one car in the points. And I'd like to point out, Hoovenir came out P11. He clearly cleared Ule. Look at the traffic Ule is in still on P15.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of faith for Ule right now.
Matthews and Kosev both into the pits here. So Hugengorn goes up to P7.
Yes, this is the medium runners coming in now, which makes sense.
It is, but I'd like to point out the Rosu on the mediums has still definitely got pace there. He's holding on to Potts, and Potts
no.
picks up a 3-second penalty there for through El Rouge.
That gives Casper a lot of breathing room as well.
Oh, but I'd like Monk is all over the back of Van Loon here. He's very close to making a move, but both with the DRS assistance. So Monk not able to make the move. McWilliams is starting to form a little train, maybe giving his teammate a little bit of breathing room to play with. It would be very smart from McWilliams to be giving it Rosu that little bit extra wheel room to play around with. But it's going to be Skalski who now leads Potts by almost a second and a half, and Potts has a 3-second time penalty too. But Hugengorn is in clear air. So Hugengorn might be able to make them hards come back to life. Let's watch that time gap between him and Monk. We'll monitor that on the side while we carry on watching Rosu still keeping up with Potts. Skalski's just got a little something that the others don't have.
It's going quite well. By the way, the Ferrari that boxed under the VSC, he's currently made up a second. So the guy's ahead of him. So he's definitely at the pace, and this means he's gaining on Casper Sky for when he boxes as well.
It's going to be very important. It's Rosu now into the pits. So let's have a look at where Rosu comes out compared to Huveniers, because they were both on strategies. Rosu has prolonged that stint by 2 laps. It's now going to be McWilliams with Van Loon, but Monk is very close to the back of Van Loon here. This is for P4 on the track. As Elsom has had a moment there. And it's side by side now for Monk and for Van Loon. Monk looking to go around the outside. And Monk's ahead coming into the corner. Van Loon drops to P5. Monk up into P4. On the track. But he has a 3-second penalty. And Elsom has left the session.
And he's still on track.
Did he retire?
No, he did not. He just left the session. His car is currently on track. So that's an AI driving now.
That is an AI driving, and it will not be very fast. As someone in chat has called Drunky Monkey Cunty Monkey for overtaking a McLaren.
Well, Van Hoon doesn't actually need to stress too hard because remember that penalty is still in place.
That is very true.
And it is a fair one, so he doesn't need to stress.
Hello there, Sanjay.
Ooh, Drunky Monkey.
He's closing up to the back of McWilliams here.
Yeah, he's on a slide though, so he could have gained a little bit more time.
Your wing,
Right, Casper Sky.
your wing called the VFC.
What?
Oh, chat was asking what caused the VFC. Was it the retirement or the wing? So McWilliams now comes into the pit. He clips the wall though on entrance. Did he get wing damage from that? Potts on the hards also into the pits. Maybe looking to undercut Skalski. Let's see, did McWilliams get damage there?
I believe he did. But it may not replace it for him. Yeah, they're not replacing the wing.
The wing does look fine here. So let's
I don't
watch
see any
Huveniers.
damage.
Let's watch Huveniers. Will he come out ahead of Potts? I believe he will, but it's going to be close.
By the way, Casper Sky pulls 4 seconds.
To Monk.
Yeah.
So Huveniers does get Potts in the pit lane, in the pit stop, but it's a lot closer, and Potts has the medium tyre and looking to go on the offensive right away. Side by side stuff. And they're still side by side.
They're leaving enough room for
Keep
each
it
other. This is
clean.
good.
Keep it clean, boys. There's a yellow flag for overhead. It is Drunky Monkey has spun on No Name, and Huveniers defends the position. Meanwhile, Drunky Monkey is drunk.
Drunky Monkey losing his pit stop as well, so he's going to fall all the way to the back of the grid when he does come in.
Yes.
That's a shame for him.
Ule still needs to pit. Ule is in P12, still hasn't pit. So Drunky Monkey is now in P8. But it's going to be Skowski now with 5.5 seconds to the nearest car. But is it the under? There's definitely got to be another pit stop, right? You no way you do 12 laps on mediums here.
No way. After 8 laps, they were on 60% tire wear. Another 4 laps.
No free engineering. No
It's not
telling.
free engineering.
No telling tire wear.
It's just information. And plus, they've already boxed.
Yeah, but
So this is a mistake for them. Yeah. The practice makes perfect, guys. So you get your information, you would know.
and we got more people into the pits now. Hugendorn and Monk both into the pits. So the only people left to pit is Skowski, Van Loon and Zerveld and Ule. And Binder. Let's have a look at the big gainers and losers after all the pits are done. After all the pit stops are done.
Yeah, moves being made on the Ferrari here as well. And contact.
Is it Potts and
Probably.
Hooveners?
It definitely is. And Potts does get past.
Was it fair contact?
There's a little bit of touchy-watchy, but there's no damage. And he's pulling away now from Purod. I don't know their names up.
Hooveners.
Yeah,
So
I don't know their
Potts-
names up.
Potts will be looking to, if he can make their mediums last, as Penal's now joined a bit late, lad.
Yeah, he's definitely.
Definitely a bit late. So will the undercut now? So this is where we're going to see the undercut come into play possibly from Potts on the mediums and Skowski on the older hards. Skowski's into the pits now.
So this is it now. Did they make the right call by boxing early, or did they not?
Van Loon's now also into the pit. Will Zervild go into the pits or will he be your race leader?
About to find out.
Zervild on medium tyres still is making them last. He's really making the mediums last. As Skowski's now been released from his pit box. Potts just set the fastest lap. This is going to be highly critical. It's very
Being
close.
held up.
And there you see Skowski out ahead. Potts did not make the undercut work, so Skowski with fresher tyres.
He's still being held up by this Haas as well. All the way.
I think you'll get him now with the DRS assistance. It's going to be close.
Not much pace difference though.
No.
He gets past. He does get past though.
Now sets the fastest lap up in P14 currently as Monk picks up another 3-second penalty. SMH. And Hugendorn and Matthews in P9, P10 are battling it out. They're side by side. Hugendorn makes the move count on Matthews though, on the mediums. These medium runners, will they make them last? If anyone can, it's probably Skowski. But all it takes is one safety car now. And everything gets thrown up into the air. Zervild has a bit of a train form behind him. He's already lost touch with Potts. Hooveners and Rosu will want to get past Zervild as quick as possible because Potts has that 3-second penalty on his head. And Hooveners has one too. In fact, this is bringing McWilliams back up to the pack. And if McWilliams comes along, so will Van Loon. Ule though still hasn't pit, is in P11. Must be really holding out for a safety car, I'd gather. As Hooveners now round the outside of Zerveld. Rosu might look to make a move. Zerveld into the pits. So it's going to be Skowski leading Potts. Then it's going to be Hooveners, who's a 1.5 seconds behind Potts. Rosu just behind that. And McWilliams is going to be in P5. Van Loon P6. Kosev now goes up into P7 with this pit stop. Hugendorn P8, Matthews P9, and Ule now is in the final points paying position but still needs to pit. And Van Loon picks up a 3-second penalty for multiple track warnings. But the battle is currently for 3rd place. These two need to maybe consider working together. As Hugendorn is doing Kosev on the DRS straight. Hugendorn makes the move on Kosev before the turn. And it's Matthews just behind. Matthews now up into P9 from P15. So with all the pits other than one done, let's have a look at who the big position gainers and losers are. The big losers are Vizendi, who's lost 8, and Ule, who's lost 9, and he's yet to pit still. The big gainers here would be Hugendorn, would be Kosev, Matthews, would be Kosev and Matthews both gaining 6.
Yeah, remaining Kosev is a tier 3 driver as well, so he's doing really well against these tier 2s.
He's holding his own, that is for sure. As meanwhile, Skowski with almost a 3-second lead to Potts, who has almost a 3-second lead to Huveniers. We have to watch that gap between Potts and Rosu though, because Huveniers and Potts both has a 3-second penalty. Rosu's rear is already flashing. And McWilliam is having to defend Van Loon. Van Loon sends it up the inside on the bus stop. Van Loon with an absolute monumental move on McWilliams there for P5. Van Loon, though, does have a 3-second penalty that he's got to really get rid of, as Alsop seems to have had a spin.
And another spin from Alsop.
Another spin from Alsop there. Let's have a look at that move again from Van Loon quickly.
Alsop also has to come in and replace that wing now, so he's also got damage on it. It's a shame.
Absolutely sends it up the inside. What a heroic move. And Van Loon now is making inroads on these hard runners ahead. So it's Skowski with almost a 3-second lead, and then Potts has a 2.5-second lead to Huveniers. They were the guys who started on hards, who are now on mediums, and it's going to be Rosu and Huveniers battling it out for that final podium position. Rosu without a time penalty though, so it's very important. As then it's going to be after Van Loon, it's going to be McWilliams, Hugendorn, Kosev, then Matthews with Ule in the final points paying position. Still needs to pit though. But Skowski already has a 3-second gap now to Potts. He can afford to cut a corner, basically. And Potts now has 3 seconds on Huveniers, and they both have time penalties. So it's can Rosu get past Huveniers, or can Van Loon, who is now on a charge, who's already dispatched one Aston Martin the lap before, is now all over the rear here of Rosu. Van Loon considering a move in exactly the same move. It's a carbon copy of what he did to McWilliams, and he's passed again. What an absolute send as Ule's brought out yellow flags. Van Loon goes up into P4. Van Loon, carbon copy. Let's have a look at that one more time. Van Loon up the inside of Rosu on the bus stop chicane, 1 lap after doing it to McWilliams.
2 very beautiful. He's about to do another one on the Ferrari if he has enough speed as well. So he is flashing. He has no ERS left.
He's running low, but it's all about, he's on a charge. Will he harvest and then maybe look for a move? He's been absolutely heroic at the moment. Also though, with a 3-second penalty, Ule's now into the pits. Ule is pitting. He's in P13 as things stand. And Van Loon is looking very racy around here. Now he's on them medium tyres. And McWilliams has now caught up to the back of his teammate as well. Huveniers is starting to form a train. Huveniers and Van Loon both with 3-second time penalties though. They're going to have to try and gap the Aston Martins, who have yet to get a penalty. Van Loon thinks about making a move, but thinks better of it.
Pushing the Ferrari around the track at this point.
It's almost like watching NASCAR. Can we expect to see another move? His rear isn't flashing anymore. Will we see another move in the bus stop chicane? Van Loon's hunting grounds.
He's definitely eyeing it up.
He is. He's flashing again now, so he's definitely deploying. Makes it. It puts his nose in there. They're side by side. Oh my! What a move! What an absolute move from Van Loon! Around the outside of the bus stop chicane, the pair of them giving each other enough room for one another to operate, and Van Loon is on a move. He's on a madness. Let's watch that one again now as well, because that was a thing of beauty. Later on the brakes, puts his wheel there. Hooveniz kindly gives him enough space rather than covering the inside, and he's just on the outside. But Hooveniz is back on the charge. Hooveniz goes back up with the DRS assistant, and Hooveniz re-overtakes. Hooveniz back up into P3. Rosu P5, McWilliams P6, Hugendorn P7. We've got a bit of a train forming behind this Ferrari. The front two are definitely pulling away.
There's some really good racing here from these guys. Very good racing.
Very clean from these guys as well. It's been an absolute joy to watch. Kosev having a standout performance as well. P8 Tier 3 driver. As Alsop picks up his first 3-second time penalty. Or is that his second?
I believe that's his second. Let me double check. No, it's his first, sorry. Yeah, it is his first.
Van Loon is getting drives out of corners on them medium tyres. He wants to dispatch. Are we about to see it all over again? Oh, we're coming into Van Loon's favourite hunting ground. Will he wait for that DRS straight where he's just been done on? Or is he actually going to make it count? As there's a spin and it's for Vizendi. Vizendi's had a... Van Loon goes very deep there. He's now having to defend Rosu instead. And in fact, McWilliams gets a better drive than Rosu does as well. And Hugendorn's in the action here. It's Aston Martin versus McLaren. And it's Hugendorn up the inside of McWilliams now. So Hugendorn overtakes McWilliams. And they're going to be squabbling for these points. This definitely does give Hoovenez a little bit of a breather though, as Van Loon has dropped out of DRS. And it'll be Rosu now looking to make an attack on Van Loon. The McLarens and the Aston Martins battling fiercely out here. Taking very different lines as well, as Ule is on the softs and has set the fastest lap, trying to steal a point away from anyone else who could possibly get it. Down though in P13 for Ule. But we're watching this thrilling battle as Van Loon is catching back up to Hoovenez as well. P3 is still on the cards, and Van Loon and Hoovenez both have a 3-second time penalty. Hugedorn and Rosu on track are currently racing for net P3. As Monk picks up another 3-second time penalty. He's on 9 seconds worth of penalties. At this rate, he's going to drop outside of the points. Elmans. As the hydrate has been redeemed. But Van Loon is really fast through this section. And he's catching up to the back of Hoovenez once again. He's actually dropped Rosu off, and it's Hugendorn who was within a tenth. As Monk and Matthews have... Monk has just made a move in a very strange part of the track. You don't normally see one. In the winding corner section up to the bus stop. But here we go. It's going to be Hoovenez now, who has got a second on Van Loon again. Hoovenez seems to get monster drives out of here as we've got a yellow flag, and it's for Vizendi. Vizendi's had a moment. So Vizendi will drop down to P15, and he's spinning all over the place. But we've got 3 laps to go. We've got 3 laps to go. Skowski's your clear leader now. We haven't watched much of Skowski the last few laps. But Skowski with a commanding lead. Potts in P2. This does wonders for his Drivers' Championship hopes. With Ule in P12. Rosu as well will be looking very favourably in the drivers. With the penalty, with Ule jump starting and being out of the points here. But it's Van Loon now who's catching back up to Hoovenez again. As they're coming up to the back marker of Elsom. Can we get some Elsoms in the chat?
The sad race for Alpine.
It is a very sad race. One person was late and one person didn't turn up. But Van Loon's getting a monster drive once again. He's closing up right into the back of the Ferrari. Can we expect another send, or is Hoovenir going to cover it off this time? Van Loon thinks about it. Doesn't do it though. Hoovenir does cover it off. But it's all about the exit through El Rouge. As we got yellow flags. And Potts seems to have had a moment there. Potts definitely seemed to have had a moment. It was yellow flags for Potts, I think.
I think he stepped the backhand out a little bit and got back on the traction. He didn't lose a lot of time.
But Van Loon is a lot closer here than normal. He's going to have the DRS on Hoovenir. Hoovenir will have ERS to defend this. 3 laps to go, boys. Who's going to take it on the track? Meanwhile, Hoogendoorn has done Rosu on the track. This is for net P3. Hoogendoorn, the medium tyres seem to have found more life than the guys who started on mediums. Possibly the lower fuel load. Because the McLarens on these mediums are dancing. As Hoogendoorn has got past both Aston Martins. It's Skowski leading, who has now got past a lap to second car. I believe that's Vizendi. Potts in P2. But the battle here is Van Loon and Hoovenir. This is for position. Hoovenir has definitely got a bit of a train here forming. Van Loon looking to send it. Oh, this side-by-side here is going to be very close. A little bit of minor contact for the pairing, but they're keeping it clean. This is thrilling racing from the pair that they have. And now, Hoogendoorn looking to make a move, but Vizendi's not Vizendi. Hoovenir isn't giving up. Round the outside. This is nail-biting stuff. And Hoovenir is back ahead.
That was beautiful. Absolutely beautiful from the Ferrari.
All 3 of them keeping it very clean there, though.
Yeah, I don't know how they all survived. Very brave and very good on the spacing.
A little bit of wheel to wheel, but you love to see a little bit of wheel to wheel without any major issues from the drivers. It shows that they definitely have the racecraft to do it. And it's going to be Van Loon looking to make a move again. And Hoogendoorn will now have to possibly think about defending Rossi behind him. It's the Hoovenir's train though. But yeah, chat saying Van Loon just needs to be patient. Oh, Potts has picked up another 3-second penalty. So he's got 6 seconds now.
Yeah, he's got to be clean up front now. If he makes any more mistakes, he's going to fall out of that position.
Place.
Yeah, he's got to be good. But it looks like the medium's starting to struggle a little bit now.
And the yellow flags for an out for a Haas. Potts did pit earlier than the rest of the medium run. He's looked for the undercut. So maybe his mediums are starting to struggle. As Van Loon runs very wide there. Really trying to make the move on Hoovenir here. He's still got 1 more lap to do it. These two both with 3-second penalties. This is for position. They will fall behind McWilliams, so they're racing for P6 and P7 here on the track. But it's been thrilling battles, the 5 of them having a little DRS train. It's like watching esports, wouldn't you say?
Very much. Like, these guys are so good. They've been leaving each other space. They're not being rude to each other. They are genuinely having a good race. And that's important.
Hoovenir is covering off the inside, but not well enough. Van Loon pokes his nose in once again. And we've seen him do it once. Will he do it again? He'll have the inside, but gets a bit of a snap. And we're now onto the final lap of the race. And he's still got the inside. Oh, contact.
Oh, that one wasn't as clean. Big contact.
Not as clean for sure. Oh, and he almost an unsafe rejoin. And they're side by side through El Rouge. Absolute maniacs.
Yeah, these guys are getting a little bit too desperate now. They've had such good racing and now they're just getting desperate. And this isn't good.
They are, and Rosu's looking to capitalise. He's going to go round the outside of Hoogendoorn. And Hoogendoorn gets a big snap. Hoogendoorn now dropping back to P7. You guys have kept it so clean for so long. Don't let it slip now, lads.
It's such a shame it's anything like this. They were so good before. So clean. Gotta keep calm and stop being so desperate, guys.
It's pulled up
There's a spin.
Oh, and there's a big crash!
Oh no.
McWilliams has crashed into the stricken Van Loon. McWilliams has lost his wing. Van Loon has lost an end plate. How has no one died?
That's beyond me. But he did gain a penalty for that. I don't know if it's fair for McWilliams to receive the penalty since he crashed into him. I'm sure there'll be reports. Oh!
And that would be
One.
Monk.
He's going to the wall.
That was Monk going into the wall. We heard that. But Skowski is your race winner. P1 for Skowski. A quiet race for him. P2 for Potts. It will be P3 for Huveniers on the track, but P3 for Rosu after the time penalties. P4 for Hugendorn. P5 for Huveniers. Kosev with Matthews behind him. It will be
P7.
P6 for Matthews, P7 for Kosev. McWilliams will probably have that 5 seconds removed. Van Loon in P10 after absolute hero moves. Some maybe just settling for your position rather than going for one more. Thrilling racing from the guys, but just knowing when enough is enough. Matthews in the points though, P6 for Matthews. Monk P11, Ule outside of the points. The story of his race will be jump starting that start. And it's just Binder and then Alsop, the last car on the lead lap.
That was such a good race.
It was a
shame people got a bit
thrilling
desperate at
race.
the end. Yeah, very, very good. Very proud of the tier 3s as well. Very proud. Coming in and being able to race the tier 1s like this. Well, tier 2, sorry. The people just gotta learn to be a bit more patient. That's all you need to do. Just relax. And that position will come to you. A good race.
Yes, a very thrilling race. Hugendorn gets driver of the day for the game. My driver of the day, though, is probably Kosev in tier 3, reserving, getting some points in for Ferrari.
I have to fully agree. He's done very well for a tier 3 driver. To be in P8 is he's taken points away from the other tier 2 drivers. Absolutely good for him.
And I believe Zerveld also scoring points. But here we have Skowski coming onto the top step. Ule, a race to forget, but a race to remember for Skowski. It's 25 points for Alfa Romeo. So still very good for them in the drivers. What did Skowski do?
I have the race directors for you as well.
Did you get the race results just in case the game decides to, you know, yiff me? And it has. Did you get the race results?
Yep.
Oh, perfect. With times, not penalties showing, right?
Yeah, I can't get all the race directors, sorry.
That's all good.
I'm going to get the majority of them.
The most important one is the race results. Oh, no, I got a second of it. Good game is good. Codemasters did a really good job with this game.
I saved the majority of them.
Thank you.
So, yeah, I tried.
But now we've got interviews after that race. And it's still 40 minutes before the football as well. They did not need to worry today.
That's all I could grab, unfortunately. The front two are obviously the results. But beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
I'm going to wait for a few more drivers to come up.
Mm.
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
By the way, tier 1s, that's how you race cleanly, really.
Other than on the last lap, but you know.
Well, yeah.
Okay, I think I'm just going to bring P1 Skowski up. Skowski.
Hello.
You led it from the majority of the race. You had quite the quiet race while there was action going on behind you. With no Ule being here, I can only imagine what is going through his head, though.
Yeah, unfortunately, he had some issues with his wheel. That's why he got the drive-through at the start. And yeah, I feel the same as him. He shouldn't have that issue. He still I think drove pretty much brilliantly today, despite that drive-through. And yeah, I think I made the work. Um, Tried to make Potts and Rosu gain as less points as possible. So yeah, and for the teams championship, it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's very good. And after the turn, you got pipped into turn one by Potts. What was going through your mind at at the start of that race?
I mean, I knew I had to overtake Potts at sooner or later. Luckily, it happened sooner. So yeah, my starts at Spa aren't pretty good. So I kind of knew that it could happen. And luckily, it was only one place. So yeah, I am pretty happy with the result. My pace was really strong today, and yeah, when I overtook Potts, I was basically driving by myself when I got out of the DRS.
And the tyres was a very contentious thing. We saw people pitting completely differently to one another. Normally it's within the lap of one another, but there was a definitely change in strategy from drivers today.
Yes, I was pretty concerned when Potts pitted. Was it lap 9 or lap 10? And I decided to stick with my strategy to pit in lap 12. And I knew with fresher tires I could be faster. And yeah, the strategy worked out. I came out in front in P1, so that's pretty good for me.
Again, a phenomenal drive from yourself. 25 points for you and the drivers, and 25 points for Alfa Romeo and the constructors too.
Finally, that first victory of the season came here.
And you must be very happy with it.
I am, of course. I may not sound like being happy, but I truly am. And I was waiting for this result for a very long time. And yeah, it calmed me down much. And I know I can prepare myself uh, calmly to the next race, which is Kota. Um, a pretty fun track, to be honest. Two main overtaking spots, of course, turn one and after the back straight, and both with DRS. So yeah, I hope we will have all a lot of fun there.
And if you guys can be as clean as you was here, it will be good racing once again.
Let's hope so.
Well, thank you very much. Is there anything else you'd like to add before we go to P2?
Um, I am just gonna wish good luck to Ule, to Shimon, and I wanted to say that I will help him no matter what to win this championship. So yeah,
Well, thank you very much, and congratulations on P1 once again.
thank you.
Well done, man. Good race.
Alright, we're now going to go to P2. Potts. P2 Potts.
Hello.
Hello. P2 for yourself. Talk us through your race. You was leading for a while. But you just didn't have the pace
Yeah.
to keep up with Skowski.
But Skalski was very quick on the straight, and I just couldn't hold him behind. And then I had a little moment, and he just got past.
And 6 seconds worth of penalties. You're quite lucky that the guys around you were squabbling.
Yeah, I mean, I knew it could have came down to that, but I had wing damage from a moment, which I was lucky to get away with just wing damage. So I'll take what I can get.
Was it hitting the wall on the left hand
Yeah.
side? We heard you hit it.
Slightly. Yeah, it was quite a big hit. Thankfully, we built strong cars at Mercedes.
Oh, Martin's died.
And then you got a monster start, and with Ule, your driver rival, getting the jump start. You must have been licking your lips.
I mean, I don't really consider him my rival. I don't really think I'm in the championship. It's more of just when he will get it. But it was good to get a free place.
And Kota's next for yourself. How do you feel about Kota?
Pretty good. I mean, it's a sprint, so normally in the sprints I start about 10th and make my way up like 2nd, 3rd.
So, can we expect to see you scoring some more points next week?
That's what I'm always here to do.
Well,
We'll
is
just keep the charge on.
anything else you'd like to add?
Skalski was just unstoppable today, so props to him.
Well done today, and congratulations on P2.
Thank you.
Is P3 here? No. Is P4 here? No.
Ferrari guys are here.
Yes, it will be Hooveners then. Who is next? Let's get them up. Guys, double point scoring for you today. Solid race result for you all.
Yeah. Satisfied with that. Hello.
Hello.
Is my team alive?
Yes.
Yes.
Ah, okay.
You're all here.
Like on the last lap, I almost shitted myself. Going through two cars in high-speed corner.
And
Yeah.
and Hooveners, you was battling Van Loon for what seemed like 5-6 laps. Both of you having a very clean race until probably the last lap of the race.
Yeah, the last lap, the first corner of the last lap, he completely misses braking point or locked up the brakes, I don't know. And then, yeah, I don't know, he spun, I think, in the last lap. I don't think it was contact. Either he hit the back of me or he spun on himself, I don't know. But yeah, it's a pretty solid race. Without the penalty would have been a P3, I guess. Still thinking I think I started on the wrong position after the restart. Because I don't remember having a grid penalty. So
I think yours was missed out on the Dutch GP when we did the lobby restart.
no, I got my 8 positions. I went to
Yeah,
the
he
back
was
after the
served
sprint. Yeah,
I was served it in Dutch GP because I was
Well,
monitoring.
No one.
so
no
it
one.
got counted double.
No one removed it. I am very sorry for that.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Compensation.
But you
Mhm.
you basically gained all your positions back on the start.
Yeah, that's true. That's absolutely true. I basically was P3 after lap 2 again, so I guess, oh well, it is what it is.
Right, it was a phenomenal drive from the both of you. Kosev reserving. Normally in tier 3, you had a solid amount of pace around there.
Honestly, I didn't expect that. I thought I was gonna spin in lap 1, but
So could you be winning Spa tier 3?
no.
No, okay.
I think you could.
Yes. He meant
I
yes.
have more
He meant
faith.
yes.
I have more faith in this man. You got P8 in tier 2, bro. I think you've agreed your driver of the day. I mean, tier 3, taking on low tier 2s. I think you can win tier 3 in Wednesday.
Yes,
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Yes, Wednesday. It's really weird for it to be on Wednesday.
If I have the consistency that I had this race, like to not spin, is good.
It was
like,
very, very good.
Yeah.
Is there anything you guys would like to add before I'm going to go down to McWilliams and then wrap it up there?
Thanks to the both McLarens. They made my day.
Hooven, anything you would like to say?
No, not really.
Well,
Oh,
congratulations, you guys, on 4th and 8th?
5th and 8th, I think.
5th and 8th. Yes,
Yeah.
5th and 8th. Very well raced.
Alright.
Thank you.
See ya.
Thank you. Alright, see you.
See you guys. Okay, and then I'm going to go to, last but not least, we're going to go to McWilliams. McWilliams,
Hello.
you're having a monster drive. Lovely fighting between you and the Aston Martins and the McLarens, and then chaos.
I don't
Final
know what
lap.
to say. Um, I'm just so confused. I don't know what happened for Van Loon to spin. I don't know how he'd spun out and stayed like widthways on the track. Um, I just don't know like what to take in because I'm not very confident for Coda next week, and this was like my big opportunity to try and squeeze up places in the championship. And I think I was on for P4. I think that was a fair result to be going after, but it all just fell away. I'm very very frustrated.
You was having
I
a
think
phenomenal drive though until that last lap moment.
if that hadn't happened, I would have got P4. I don't think that's a question for me. It's just, I mean,
You was
I
at the
say
time. At the time, you was in P5 because Hugendorm was ahead of you without any penalties. It was very, very close between
I was
the
thinking
lot
of
of you.
making the move into like the last sector, because I noticed the McLarens throughout the entire race were just stupidly quick in the straights. I don't know if they were using like 0-0 or something, but it was quite apparent that they were more straights focused. So I was thinking of a move into the last sector, but I never got to make that move.
And
So,
Cota's next for yourself. It's considered Silverstone
ugh,
2.0.
I don't want to think about Silverstone, honestly. I think I would. I don't know quite what to think because I've never like properly tried to practice for Coda before because I've never really cared to be honest. But I mean, we'll see what throws at us. I'll do my best to also speak on the behalf of Vlad. We had a lot of technical problems. We didn't have an engineer. Vlad's mic wasn't working, so I was having to engineer it for him and try and help. Like, it was so weird because in qualifying we were using Team Chat to try and communicate. So, considering all that was thrown at us and more specifically Vlad, I think he made up some absolutely crucial points today getting that podium. Um, it was quite a squeeze, a lot of fear going into today, but I saw Ule like jump the start, but it didn't like announce anything, so I just about seen it. I was like, has Ule actually just jumped the start? And from that moment, I knew like this could actually be pretty big. But it just kind of fell away, and I don't really like that considering how few rounds are left and what I needed to do today to try and get myself up the championship, which is something I really, really, really need to do for myself. But I just hope that I can just push this behind me, move on. Also, today because of that I ruined a very, very impressive record. I like to think where I haven't lost a single position in a race this season compared to where I started in it. Um, and I lost it by one position. So I mean, if Luke Matthews was going to get a 3 second time penalty, let me know because I like that record to stay. But yeah, it was a good day for us. I can sit here and mope and moan about myself all day, but Vlad's battle comes first, and it's very good that we got those points back because this was pretty much exactly what we were hoping for, and we did everything we could to try and minimize the damage and try and keep this title fight more than alive in Dakota.
Well, you had a brilliant drive today, and congratulations. It's a shame about the ending, but I'm sure you will bounce back.
All right, thank you, mate. Also, just want to say thank you to the Hooveneers and both McLarens. Lovely little battle for the midfield today. Very contrary to some other races, I've just kind of been going around the circuit, almost zoning out. I actually had to think about what I was doing. All the credit to Skalski and Potts today, proving their consistency, especially Skalski when his teammate, pretty much ended his race in the first lap. All the credit to him for stepping up when he absolutely needed it to. So yeah, it would have been a feel good race, but it isn't, and I don't. I just want to keep Fisher behind me now. Thank you very much for having me up here, Luke, and 4G.
Well, I think on that note, that's the end. It's been me, Martin, and I've been joined by Sleepy Boy Hawkins.
I'm not sleepy. I'm here.
But congratulations to everyone who drive today, and join us again on Wednesday when it'll be the tier 3 guys to drive around Spa. I'll be on the track, and so will a few other familiar faces. But that's the end of us tonight. Goodbye.
Bye bye.